Welcome everyone, forgot to unmute myself, to Lights of Miiva, episode 48. My name is Sam Melander, I'll be your GM, and I have some players.
Hello, my name is Zura, playing Lumi, the Circle of Stars Druid.
Hi, I'm Suda, playing Risha, the Warlock Rogue, and she does stuff.
Hello, I am Sadie, playing Zari, the barbarian with a holy rage to smite.
Hello, I'm Inter. I'm playing Crier, the monk.
And I'm Ashes, and I play Eberkeet, the divination wizard.
So last time, you guys were meeting with, names are gonna be hard. Bitra, in her office, in the castle, and during that meeting, an earthquake happened, which also knocked out the magic of the room, including the connection back to the castle itself. So, after some tense discussions with Iris, her assistant, Bitra deigned to let you pass through her private quarters, and through her house, back into the city. Although she required that you follow eyes closed, so that you would not see what her private areas were like. Once you were back in the public spaces of her house, she and Iris went into town to assess what was going on. Panic was the general feeling. You guys headed back towards the castle ward by various means. Meanwhile, chaos reigned in the streets as buildings had been knocked over, and generally a lot of things like there were fires in places and buildings that were not collapsed but damaged. You eventually worked your way back to the castle ward and got your equipment back from the castle itself, and then headed back to the Color Animal Inn, where you spent some time indoors, not being nearly as afraid of the indoors as the other people of the city, and repairing the Color Animal Inn for some free stuff. And then the the butler, whose name I'm just gonna forget for now, came back and came back and told you that had found a place and that the rent was acceptable. You headed over to the trade ward to see the new place. Meanwhile, many of the people of the city were not willing to go indoors because of the earthquake. But eventually you got back to the trade, or got to the house, and got inside, and the house seems sturdy enough, if somewhat damaged. And it is the evening of the 12th of Emerald. That is where we left off.
Well,
Did somebody scour the area from the air?
Yes. Lumi did, and saw a giant sinkhole in part of the city. I think it was...
Lumi, are those sinkholes a little bit the same as in Haifa?
I don't think we've been close enough to examine it.
Lumi, from what you saw, it was a hole in the ground. You didn't spend a lot of time getting much more information. Although you know where it's at from here if you guys wanted to go check it out.
What time of the day is it? It's probably mid-afternoon, right?
Yeah, mid-afternoon towards evening.
Okay. So
First thing tomorrow.
Well, I mean, we have to make a plan for tomorrow. I think they said the Adventurers Guild was in the northern half of the city, in the North Ward somewhere. Risha should probably find the Thieves Guild, and possibly get in touch with what's her name? Um, the the guild the Thieves Guild lady that we've been teleported to talk to every time.
Scanlon?
Yes, Scanlon.
Hey, I remembered something.
It's doing better than me right now.
Did you have
And-
inspiration, by the way? For your remembering? Because I have double inspiration and I cannot have double inspiration.
I already have inspiration as well.
Does anybody not have inspiration?
I don't.
There you go.
Okay, I'll give mine to our druid.
No, I'm good.
Thank you.
So, Adventurers Guild, check out the whole Thieves Guild. I might go out to the Nomads tomorrow and see what can be garnered for them. And we were supposed, and I guess keep an eye out for what's the Lord's daughter's name?
First daughter Tiasa.
Yeah, and I guess keep an eye out for Tiasa, but city this big, unless fates decide to make our paths cross, I highly doubt it. Yeah, the sinkhole's probably on the way to the Adventurers Guild, so we can check that out. Maybe stock up on supplies. I need to divvy up that big load of money that we got from the Haifa castle.
Speaking of money, anyone hear anything when we were walking blindfolded?
Stone floors.
Could have sworn I heard some coins shift and jingle about a bit.
Haven't noticed a thing.
Do you think she's another dragon? At this point, I'm going to question any prominent member of a city being a dragon.
I didn't. Question GM: did I retroactively notice anything about her smile?
You did not.
I did.
I don't think she smiled the
She's-
entire time.
She's a dragon. I saw it. Saw the
Oh.
teeth.
Oh, Ashen saw it.
But I never told anybody until now.
Yep.
I'm telling people now.
Okay. Probably a good idea. Okay, so, well, we know where the dragon for this city is. So, it's a good thing that we met her. I'm betting that the teleportation circles are going to be down, so we're not going to be able to jet off to the other side of the world to talk to Magda. Yeah, so we'll put that on the do later list.
Put it on the back burner. Oh boy. Jeez.
You guys are gonna run out of back burners.
Yeah, I think it's not wise to split up at this moment. So I think we have to do all the tasks as a group.
It's a big kitchen.
All right. We will handle this semi-downtimey. So there's a week of we're gonna if you guys don't mind, unless you guys want to do day by day. There's a week of time, possibly more that we can accomplish some of these goals or at least work towards them. So if you guys have specific things that you want to be doing, I know there was some shopping that was wanting to be done. We will go ahead and handle that a little more abstractly. I'll jump back into role play as it is appropriate. But who would like to go first? You don't need to pay rent because that has been taken care of for you, and as well as food.
Lumi is doing his level best to scout and reconnaissance the sinkhole by using animal forms throughout the week.
Okay, so I'm not going to make you roll anything for that. As you do so, you get a good idea of the size and the shape of it. Every time you go near their city guard and there's an army unit that is nearby, they've emptied out buildings around it. A couple of them have been demolished. And on more than one occasion, something large and angry tries to come up out of the hole, and it is held back by the city guard, often with loss of life. And you are unsure whether or not whatever large and angry is down there is being killed, or if it's like you don't get enough to know if that's like the same thing, but you can, like, there's been an occasion like where you're flying back away or heading somewhere else that you hear the screams and the stuff. So you're not sure if it's the same things or if it's different things. And the things that come out of the hole they seem to be a mishmash. They are not like, oh, that's a hippogriff, or it's like,
that's a thing with wings and a beak.
That's
a thing with long claws, legs, and, well, it looks like it should fly, but doesn't have wings.
Right. That sort of thing.
Combinations.
Mixtures of creatures. I mean, like, you might, and not like the ones
Gibbering mouthers.
Yeah, well, not even that, because gibbering mouthers don't really have much of a form, but it's things like it will have a humanoid torso and a bird's head and a octopus lower body, or but no arms. Or it'll be like a demon's head with the torso of a like horse or other like four-legged creature, but with like hands for all four limbs, or that sort of thing.
Wild magic-ish.
Xenozoology reimagined. Yay. Actual thought through Lumi's head.
Mm-hmm. At one point, all 6 of you have gathered somewhere nearby, nearby the pit, and you see Bitra and Iris like walk past the there's like a guard line that prevents people, like civilians, from getting too close, and you see them walk past the guard line and head towards the house that appears to be like the place that the guards have set up like a command post. And as Bitcher walks into the place, Iris, like, you can hear her, like, the noises she's make are like conciliatory towards the guards outside of the building. Could I get a perception check from everybody, please?
You do know who you're asking to roll.
Yes, I'm aware. Some of you can fail.
That is a big hole.
So Zari and Lumi, you guys notice first the sound of like thousands of or hundreds at least of legs skittering, and the guards in the hole are not, or of the hole and the area are not 100% paying attention. And you just kind of catch at the edge of your perception this like, hey, it's not coming through. Oh shoot, I need to turn off. What do I need to turn off? There's that, because oh man, it is like a type sound, like of hundreds of feet, like crawling.
Lumi will probably furrow his brow, look around at the rest of his party, and just go, "Heads up!"
I look up.
As you
just point towards general, like, get people's attentions, like, looking at his party and the guards, and like, just, come on, people, wake up! Sounds.
So your yell gets the attention of the guards. I don't know what the name of the as a like huge sized dragon's head comes up over the edge of the thing, followed by a mini segmented I don't think that's what I'm thinking of.
Is it
legged
a they here?
Large. Yeah, but no. Because the head doesn't match the body. And just like it just keeps coming. Like hundreds of feet coming up out of the thing, like a centipede's body. And the guards like duck out of the way as the thing comes slamming down, and it is generally in your guys' direction. You're probably 100 feet away from it as the thing roars.
Hey, Risha, look, bug.
Yay. But
We can eat a month out of that.
no, thank you. If you want to eat it, be my guest. But
Oh,
just
we're here.
be-
I guess we should help.
All right.
What, you want to match the size, Zari?
Oh, let's get over. Let's close the distance first.
All right. As you guys rush up to help, the guards around, several of them are crushed underneath the body of this beast. It seems to be able to attack anything that is within close distance to it. And you have a round of running. Well, most of you have a round of running before you can close the distance. Any preparatory stuff before you go up and hit it.
I'll try to, at some point, be within touching distance of Zori and just go, Engorgio! And she grows up one size.
And then I get 45 feet of movement to start with, so I can close pretty fast, and so I'll begin my rage and grow another size, and hair will turn to clouds as I channel a storm giant.
Nice. Risha, you're well within range at this distance for either spells or arrows, or you can approach it if you wish.
No, I'm good. I'm good back here.
All right. Ash, is anything in prep?
Mage armor.
Ah, absolutely. So, you guys get up this thing, and about the time that you get towards it, there is a gout of lightning that blasts out from the dragon's head, not in your direction, but like scorching, and the screams of a couple of guards. And at this point, like, the guards are they're just like, they're not even bothering to like stop you guys. Well engaged with this thing. And we can just go in whatever order. I will go last. So players first, then GM.
I'll go first then.
You're the fastest one there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then I'll try to hit it twice.
Go for it. 19 will hit.
6 damage.
Okay.
And it may take a con save.
Constitution save. All right. To GM D20. That would be a 19.
That will succeed. Well, I will fail. Then I will attack again.
Go for it.
Let's see if it hits.
22 will hit.
Again, 6 damage.
Okay.
And again, a con save, please.
Okay. 13.
You're stunned.
Joy.
And just for the fun of it, 10 will miss. And
Okay.
I'll walk back a bit.
Yep.
Okay.
Advantage on all rolls, people.
Indeed.
Zari will throw her elemental cleaver.
A 9 will miss.
Yep. And
Oops.
Jeez.
that one's better.
23 will hit.
So let's see. Damage 1. Elemental Cleaver. And then a D4.
Don't you get something else? Because you're up two sizes.
I get the Elemental Cleaver from my class ability.
Right. I'm talking you. So you get a plus D4 from large reduce.
Yep.
Do you get another something from?
Not from Giant Rage.
Okay.
I get the Elemental Cleaver, and that's basically it.
That's
my additional dice.
Got it.
Oh, for the people who want to know, it also fails automatically on strength and dex saves.
Right.
For grapples and stuff like that.
It's too big. Well, not for Zeri. I was going to say it's too big to grapple, but it's not.
Or if you try to pin it down with ropes or something, I don't know.
Yep. And with that hit, I'll use the Crusher Feet to push it back 5 feet.
I can't oppose that. And you're plenty big enough. So you knock it about halfway back into the hole at this point. Who's next?
Range estimate for like 30 feet or 60 feet or.
You started at about 100 feet, so if you could have closed to up to 40. So between 30 and 60.
I need a small deliberation on which combination of spells to use, so someone else can go for me.
Go for it.
Does Ashes want to go? I think they're queued up.
No, I misclicked something, but
Oh.
yeah, I'll go ahead and throw a maxed level, so level 4 chromatic orb.
Oh boy.
Oh, that didn't ask me
Zappy
to
zappy.
do the higher level one.
That doesn't.
So that's another. Does that hit?
15 will hit. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
One can always crit fish too.
Oh yeah, advantage.
Yep, advantage.
Oh, we have advantage.
Yeah, because of stunning fist.
There you go.
Jeez. Yeah, that's a critical. Level 4 spell.
That's 45 damage. Fire.
Eberkeet?
Mm-hmm.
How does this fire kill this bug creature thing? Your chromatic orb. How do you want to do this to steal a line from another much more famous GM?
This is a very large centipede. So the tiny sphere of energy slips between carapace plates and burns the thing from the inside out. With just glowing radiant shown between all the plates.
There's more energy than you guys were expecting as the radiant orb slips between the armor plates, and this thing is stunned and unable to control its movements. And you're very glad of that, because you feel like otherwise it would go very badly for the guards that are in melee with it. As the bright fire glows and fills this thing with heat as a furnace or an oven. It's not long until the glow is escaping between the carapace, and the thing's mouth opens in a silent bellow, and smoke pours out of it, and it collapses over onto its side, and the heat like builds. This thing, there must have been some sort of fuel, because creatures do not burn like this. They're not self-supporting on fire, but this thing seems to be you can sense both the heat of the fire and the excess magic burning its way out of this creature. Meanwhile, Iris, you hear the snap of a book, and a couple of you turn around and look, and Iris is putting the book that she had away, and she is slipping a ink pen into her hair, and she has a very thoughtful expression on her face as she then turns around and heads into the guard building. A couple of the guards fetch some like halberds or other long pole weapons and begin pushing this burning fiery creature back into the hole. And as it falls into the deep hole, they just let the spears go, the like glaives or other long pole weapons, whatever that it was they had, go with it. And there is a few moments of like scraping sounds, and you hear the carapace bash against the rocks a couple times, and then there is a great gout, like a great like splash of flame at the bottom, maybe 150 feet straight down at the bottom of this hole, and a large fire spreads over the base of this sinkhole, and illuminates the inside of the place fairly well. There's so much fire, and you can see there is an open cavern near the bottom, but not all the way at the bottom, in the side of this sinkhole. One of the guards looks over at Giant Zari, blinks a couple times, decides that Giant Zari is not the one he would like to talk to, and instead turns towards towards Cryer, who has come up to the edge of the hole as well, along with Lumi, and goes, "Oh, thanks for the help. They keep coming out of that hole, and we're safer up here. It's easier to stop them up here because it's not level ground. We have an advantage here." But I think we should probably get you back a safe distance away. We wouldn't want to. He kind of looks around. I guess you can kind of take care of yourself. I'm insert name here. Hold, please. I have names, but I don't have them up. There we go. No.
I want to try and time him glancing towards Zari to drop concentration and large reduce.
Right.
Just to mess with him.
I'm Vlastimil. It's good to meet you.
I'm Cryer. We are the Lights of Miiva.
He nods. Adventurers?
Indeed, sir.
It's good to have you in town. Not a lot of them have been nearby here. Apparently, they're not paying for adventurers to come look. At least not yet. Maybe we'll start sending some people into the hole. No offense, but you guys are better than you than me. I'll keep the city safe, but I'm not going in that hole.
No offense to you either, but better us than you. You do mean protecting the city, but I'm not sure you'd fare so well down there.
Absolutely.
Well, if you decide on an plan of attack, B3 knows where to find us. B-Trap.
Beecher does. You guys know. Do you guys know the general?
Yep.
We have been acquainted. Zari says, coming over and shrinking back down.
He goes, well, I feel like I should salute, but you're adventurers, so you're not in the army, but thanks for the help. And he
Anytime.
goes he goes back to, he was one of the ones who sacrificed a halberd to push the thing back into the hole, and goes to collect another weapon. Everybody else around here seems to be giving you respectful distance.
Onwards to Adventuring Guild, or we'll stop by the guardhouse to see what Beatra and the rest.
Yeah, I'm
Or staying.
curious what she wrote down. So I vote for guardhouse. Talk to her.
Anywhere away from bugs.
You guys head over to the guardhouse. There are a couple of city guards guarding the door, strangely enough. And they nod at you in respect, but like cross spears to prevent you from entering the house. I'm sorry. Do you have an appointment or other business with the captain?
We just saved like 20 of your men.
I know that, but it's my job to make sure that people aren't disturbed. So if you have business, let me know and I will go.
If you would, please, can you inform Lady Beatra that the Lights of Miiva are here to see her and possibly give assistance?
He nods and heads inside. The other guard, like, is giving you an eye, but can I get an is it insight? Is it the knowing people look? Insight?
Inside,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes, insight check from anybody who wants. $15. So anybody with a 15.
I also get an extra of 1d4 on that, but I guess I don't need it.
No, you don't. Like, this guy just saw what happened and is absolutely not going to stop you from entering the place. If you wanted to just follow after the first guy. But if you remain outside,
I'm not gonna
Zari
take
is
the
being
initiative.
polite.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take the initiative here, but if somebody goes in, I'll follow.
after a few minutes, the guard comes back out and goes, they'll see you inside.
Thank you, good sir.
No, like, seriously, you did save many of our lives, and it is greatly appreciated. He offers his hand to you,
aren't I
Zari.
amazing?
I didn't get that last bit.
I said he offers Zari his hand.
Zari doesn't know what to do.
Take it, chop it off.
Just go on past him.
Risha will take
Yeah.
a step forward and shake it.
He grips your hand firmly, Risha, and then bows over it with respect, like kind of an intense. This is not necessarily something that you guys would be a familiar culture, but he picked it up from somewhere, and his hand inside of its leather glove the grip is firm, but not like crushing, but it's very much, you can sense his deep sense of, like, appreciation in it. And then he steps to the side, opens the doors, and steps to the side and lets you guys through. Inside, you find the ruined interior of a house. Somebody has gone and knocked out most or all of the interior walls. It looks like there was an upper floor in this place, but you're not sure if it was the earthquake or if it was when they knocked the walls out. There's not really rubble here, but like you can see the remnants of where walls once were. There is a chimney in the back, along the back of this house, that is not lit. There is a large table with a fairly well detailed map of it's like a 10 foot, maybe 10 and a half foot by 10 and a half foot table. You're not sure if it's not like table, maybe using the wrong word. It is a built thing that was built inside of this place, right? It's thrown together from like scrap pieces of lumber and piled like rocks and things, but it's got a flat surface, and on it is pinned a very large piece of parchment or vellum, some type of like paper, a map of the local area. And it's mostly like 90% of it is the hole itself. There are fairly cryptic notations on the walls of the hole. There's a little bit of like perspective, so it's not just straight down where the fairly vertical wall sides of the hole would be like completely obscured, but there's some notes along it. And as you walk in, you see the captain kind of eye you warily. He's wearing a nicer version of the uniform of the guards outside. There is a person wearing a different uniform. You may recognize it as the army uniform. This person's like, it's workman, like it's not like fancy like the captain's armor is. This is a person who is used to standing in the middle of a melee and beating about with a sword, right?
So no plumes.
No plumes, he's wearing a cloak, but it looks like the cloak could be like, if you pulled on it to try to trap them in a place, it would just come off of them, sort of thing. No real embellishment on the armor. There is a symbol that you don't recognize on it, on one of the pauldrons, the shoulders of it, but it is like etched into the armor itself, so it's not like raised that might catch a blade or something else. And very much like, this was expensive armor, but it was expensive not because it's fancy, but because it is a extremely well crafted set of armor. It is likely magical. Like, you don't think you've ever seen somebody make a set of armor that good and not imbue it with magic, right? Iris is standing behind Bitra. She has a very neutral expression, but there's a giggle to her eyes that you can kind of see in how she's looking around the room. And Bitra has a very long, enduring expression on her face. She is wearing a set of armor as well. Same basic design as the second person. But this has an elegance that only money can buy. it is workmanlike in that it is like no plumes, nothing like that, but it accentuates the fact that she is got maybe a little smaller frame than a guy might have, who would be the same like height and width and general thing. Is like this is an armor that says, I am a warrior woman. I am here to kick your butt, and the giant sword on my back will be the thing that does it to you. And she goes, yes, Miiva. Welcome. Thank you for your efforts in the hole. How can I assist?
Well, we were going to ask if you needed any assistance. It looks like you're holding your own, but apparently the Adventurers Guild has not volunteered their aid as of yet.
As adventurers, you know that oh shoot, my wiki I can't bring up my wiki because I haven't reinstalled it yet because I forgot that I need to do that. So adventurers are ill inclined in general to volunteer their lives for service. They usually do it for coin. We're holding our own, but we're running ourselves a little low on, and this is why I wish I had my wiki up. What was the gem we had replaced diamonds with?
Opal.
We're running a bit of low. We're starting to run low on opal. Every time something huge comes out of the hole, we lose a few, and I refuse to let the guards pass if it can be avoided. So, you're from the wilderness, she says, kind of almost insultingly. Do you know of any good opal mines that we might attend?
I am not familiar with the area around Volley. I could speak to the nomad elders in the nomad quarter for you, and see if they would be willing to trade or have a source of them themselves.
She nods. Yes, if you could, that would be appreciated.
Have you made any plans to send any parties into the hole, or any further plans to?
Yeah, I need the king's approval for the outlay, but we will be hiring adventurers to go into the hole and scout and see if it can be blocked off or otherwise prevent great creatures from crawling up out of it. Or see where it goes, that it has such a trove of chaotic beasts. Iris here tells me that they are magically created, as if somebody is taking creatures and smashing them together with magic and filling them up to enormous sizes and then releasing them upon our town, or upon my town.
That does seem very worrying. We did not see anything like this out of the sinkholes in Haifa.
I'm going to pause you there for a second and remind you that out of the sinkhole of Haifa, a enormous gargantuan sized creature with a humanoid body and the lower half of a snake, crawled up out of the ground, and it was Eberkeit's quick action with Dispel Magic that reduced it down to a normal giant. So,
Yeah.
Zari would know that. Do you want to continue with what you had said, or you want to correct yourself?
No, we didn't see as many of these kinds of creatures. We did run into one creature, and Eberkeit here used Dispel Magic on it, and it turned into a regular giant. So this is
A friendly giant.
yes.
Beetrod gives a sharp look over to Iris, and Iris has a very thoughtful expression on her face and goes, "Maybe. I will summon some wizards to see what we can do." And she gets the book back out, draws the pin out from her hair, makes a note in the book, closes the book with a snap, and then heads out towards the front door.
Before that, I will point out on a map where we're staying. If you need to contact us, we are there.
So the map of the local area is much too focused in, but you would know the address.
We give her the address.
Yeah.
That's really focused in on it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to inspect the map also if I see patterns on it that I might recognize. But
give me an Arcana check. So this is a 10-foot by 10-foot map. 8 feet of it are the hole in the ground. A 19 Arcana. You study the map for a bit, and you start understanding what the markers are on the map. You can kind of decipher it. It's doing things like marking where outwelling, there's one that's it indicates an outwelling of evocation magic, and then a little further down and kind of a different part of it is a field of illusion that's making some like blowing breeze effect or something like that. But it seems chaotic. It doesn't seem to be directed, if that makes sense.
okay, as soon as we're out of the building, I'll try to copy that.
Sure. Bitra goes, I'll make sure that you are on the list once we have jobs opened up for exploring the hole. I'll make sure that the Lights of Miiva are added to the list of potentials. From what Iris was telling me, you handled yourselves very well with thing that came up out of it. Definitely needs stronger crews to go in.
You could say we are especially adept at handling larger creatures.
She smiles a little bit at you, showing more teeth than a smile of that size should show, of course. And she nods and goes, "Yes, some of you are very large indeed." She looks to the person, to the captain, and says, "Jarek, send a runner to the king. I think it is time to end this vigil outside of this place, and pay the blood price of the adventurers." Jarek, Jareck. Jarek nods and goes, very well. I'm sorry, I'm making notes in my thingy about whom, like, I'm naming NPCs that I had in my head but didn't have named. He goes, very well. I will see to our guards and get a runner sent out. I don't think there is much more worth in our debating this map now anyway. And he steps behind the kind of around from behind the table, grabs something off of the, like, leaning against the wall, and heads out the front door itself. As he's heading out the front door, he is attaching a sword belt to his hip, and there is there's a sword hilt, and just like 2 inches of, just enough to like give an attachment point of scabbard, and then nothing below that. Like a long sword, but it's just the hilt and maybe an inch or 2 of blade, and then there's no visible thing from further on. Strangely enough, he grabbed it as if it were the right length for a long sword, leaning up against the wall. And
Magic.
Yep. And then she turns to the person who is left in the room with you, and goes, Conrad, Sergeant. This is Sergeant Conrad of my personal guard. Conrad, these are the lights of Miiva. I told you a little bit about them. I didn't actually expect to see them here today. Conrad gives you guys a look like he is trying to decide if you are worthy warriors, worthy of his attention, or filth mercenaries who are just paid in gold or brass. But he gives you a few seconds of look, gives a nod, and goes, "Milady, I should see to our guards as well.
If you have any wounded, I can possibly help see to them if you'd like some aid."
He nods. We have sufficient healers at this time, but if it comes to that, I will have somebody. Do you have a token I could take for somebody to contact you? If we need assistance.
Just send for Lumi, the druid.
He nods.
I point towards Crier. Address. You took that down, that right?
I'll give him the details then.
He folds the address up and places it into the inside of his tabard, and then he heads out the door. And Bitra just kind of is eyeing you to see if she's waiting to see what you're going to do next now that you're back in private. She kind of figures that you wanted to talk to her in private, but she's waiting for you to take the lead or leave.
Right. Any other business, or are we onwards towards the Adventurers Guild?
We were sent. We were sent here by the Lord of Ava to find his daughter Tiasa, as well as our other goals here. If we will be exploring the sinkhole for you, we would like assistance on possibly finding her to assist the Lord with recovering his daughter. She is familiar with us, so when we return, if you have found her, we can possibly talk to her.
She thinks for a few minutes and goes, I think I met her once. She was about, and she motions like knee high. I'm assuming that since she is lost in a completely different city, that she is an adult.
Lumi will copy the motion of the knee-high motion, but approximate the exact height according to in reference to Lumi's own height,
Right.
like shoulder height or maybe a bit taller.
She nods. All right. I will send word amongst my troops to keep an eye out for her. Has she been in the city long? If she's here.
What, 6 months?
Yeah, about that actually. So either she brought a great store of wealth with her, or she's found a job here in town.
She has an affinity for doing adventuring work, so she might have found a crew.
She nods and goes over to a like a side table that's got some parchment and a couple of ink pens on it, and she scratches something out on a parchment and like doesn't fold it over, but places a wax seal of her, like she has a signet ring, of course, places a wax seal at the bottom of it and goes, the adventuring guilds tend to be very reticent to give out exactly who are members to strangers, but show this to Embla at... Oh, shoot. I never named the Adventurers Guilds. There's 3 of them here in town. So, somebody give me the name of one of the Adventurers Guilds.
The Stony Nook.
The Stony Nook. Thank you. I have been racking my brain for literal weeks, and I couldn't do it.
The something of something always works.
Right.
Or the something, like the Stony Nook.
But like everything that I had in my head sounded dumb. So thank you. Stony Nook sounds great. She's in her guild's in the North Ward. It's not the biggest guild, but she likely has if not knowledge of this Tiasa, but if Tiasa's not part of the Stony Nook, then decent chance she knows which one she's part of, which guild she's part of. And
thank you.
She nods. Wouldn't
now I am.
It wouldn't be a bad idea for you guys to register at the Stony Nook yourself.
Well, I think
It
that
was
our next
on our list
destination.
for today.
Yeah.
She she nods again.
And I think with that, we will take our leave, lady. We have possibly some shopping to do. We have acquired a very large hoard of gold, hoard of coin from from the ruined Haifa, and wouldn't want to hoard it like a dragon, now would we?
Give me an insight check, please.
And Lumi was just gonna take 2 coins, click them together, wink at her, and grin.
Come on, baby. No. Nope. Hold on. I got inspiration. I'm using inspiration.
I don't.
That's better.
I don't have inspiration. What is her? Okay, I actually need to look up what her charisma score is. But 21 and 25 will be plenty, I'm sure. But,
That was an everyone insight.
yeah, anybody could give that insight check because y'all just heard the words that Zari said. So anybody rolling higher than a 10. So not Risha. So, well, and not Cryor. So, Zari, Iberkeet, Lumi, the three of you see her expression go dark, and then I would like a deception check from the three of you, please, to hide your own expression.
Sorry, he's going to fail horribly at this. I know it. Yeah.
Well, you didn't fail horribly, but with a dirty 20, it still exceeds your 19. And suddenly you guys find, as she then reads your expression, because it was like, did I just hear that? And she didn't cover her expression very well. And then when there is like the cross of like whatever on your guys' face, you find yourself looking at an empty space with the feeling of a presence behind you. And a much lower but still very feminine voice. I heard an interview given to a WNBA player here a while back, or Mavis Staples, right? Like still definitely a woman's voice, but much deeper timbre. Says from behind you, I have questions for you that you daren't not answer. And as you turn around to look, you see fiery red eyes. There is no pupil or sclera. There is only fire. And her hair has like stopped being like hanging like normal hair and is rippling up out of her scalp as it's like it's the same color, but as an active flame does in a like that is being fed by a bellows or other thing. Like it's like every time she takes a breath, it's like whooshing up a little bit. And her greatsword is still strapped across her back, and her like she's still wearing leather gloves, but they are tipped with crimson scales. My first question, my dear adventurers, is, do you mock me?
Of course not. I just wanted to. I just wanted to hint at you, give you a hint as to our knowledge of certain things about the world.
Well, that wasn't a hint, sorry. That was just outright plain speech.
Okay, it was a little cheeky, but that is my bad.
I would like every one of you to currently make a wisdom saving throw. Unless you are immune to fear.
Not raging, so probably not.
You don't get that paladin ability yet?
No, I think that's a fairly high level ability.
Fair enough.
For a paladin.
Lumi saves.
Not immune to it, but I can end it. Wisdom. Oh, that's just a wisdom roll. I need a wisdom save.
Yes, wisdom save.
Oh, that's way better.
It's the same number, so same bonus. So anybody with a less than 21 DC is currently frightened of her presence and cannot approach her.
I'll end that in 6 seconds.
Right. Frightened. You have a disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls while the source of fear is within your line of sight, and you can't move closer towards her. And she stalks is the only word for it towards you, Zari. You have a brave face, but you like that. It is that fear that you, as a child, knew when somebody who was much larger than you,
Before I got large.
before you got large, that quavering of your guts, who intended violence upon you. Like you knew it. You guys were outcast as children, and that led to some level of abuse that you survived. And so you know the fear of some much larger than you person, like attacking you, and that feel of this presence. And she approaches you and asks, within your personal comfort, like within what you would consider personal, like, space, she has locked eyes in you, these flaming red orbs, and goes, how do you know?
Big open cavern, coins shifting, falling. Is one clue.
The hero of Miiva. What was his name?
Griffith.
The hero of Miiva, Griffith, sire of Magda, father to Anya. We have been to his lair. We have met his daughter and his granddaughter.
Excuse me, the fuck you did? How?
before.
What? No, I don't. Okay. Yes, you, wizard, continue. She says without looking at you, Ibrahit.
They're kind people. Or dragons.
Yes, sorry, what holes need to be filled in this conversation?
How did we get to Griffith's lair?
We found a magic map in a magic house.
That fucker. He was always too clever for his own good. Okay. There is... She takes a deep breath, and then the supernatural fear that you guys were feeling drains away, leaving you feeling a little hollow inside. And you're not sure, looking at her, if the flaming eyes and claws and hair were figments of your imagination from the frightful presence boiling out from her, or if they were actual, like, real things, right?
I take it you and Griffith weren't on exactly speaking terms, or is it the exact complete other side of the spectrum where you were very much on speaking terms? That kind of reaction towards someone's name isn't big if you're in the middle.
We were not lovers. He was nobler than... He's probably got his fool self killed. He was too noble for his own good, and we butted heads over plans on more than one occasion.
Well, you're right that he died, but it was because of it happening about 18-ish years ago when a temple in Miiva just went kablooey. I think it would have rivaled the shakes of the earthquake of the city.
She nods. There were a couple of temples that did the same here at that time.
As far as I can deduce, is that he was such a devout follower of the god whose temple went kablooey that he went with them.
And you found his lair due to a magic map. And it was unguarded?
No, was guarded by some constructs of some type, and Anya.
Anya,
That is where we met his daughter Anya. The magic that kept part of his lair afloat had crumbled, and we brought Anya back to Miiva with us, and we had her help in trying to minimize the events that happened to Haifa, which is where we met Anya's daughter. And Anya had made a deal with the queen of the Winterfell court, and was taken as recompense on our way from Haifa.
So you're telling me that I can't talk to her or her daughter. and as they are not in Miiva right now.
Her daughter is said she was going back to speak with Magda.
I believe she said Kirsch. Maybe.
I know who Magda is. I do not recognize Anya as a name, but I know who Magda is. She takes a very deep, heavy sigh. And I will conference with Magda about all of this. She is likely to get involved at this point, and she is nearly as good as Griffith was. It's probably why they... And she kind of waves her hand.
Lumia looks contemplative, as if he's about to say something. Takes a deep breath and just closes his mouth again.
She looks all of you over and says with a very real, serious expression on her face, the fact that this is not in the rumor mill tells me that you have the ability for discretion.
Of course.
And so I don't need to warn you that if this gets out, I will make sure that the rumor is quashed and that you are dinner.
We are not enough for dinner.
No thanks. I'm not hungry right now.
We
just had
have
to find a
been.
bug.
We have seen the power of even the younger members of your kind, and have been assisted by them enough that we know not to cross you.
We've seen their appetite as well.
Yes. You seem to be running a fairly you seem to be part of running a very well organized city, and I do not see any need for that to end.
She smiles is the wrong word. She bares her teeth at you. Much like a dog might when it is not yet growling but is heading in that direction. The expression on a human face is very akin to smiling, but maw is the only word that describes her mouth correctly, and she nods at you and goes... She starts to say something, and then there is the sound of a door opening, and Iris comes in from the outside and goes, "Man, you could cut the tension in here with a..." and sees the expression on Bitra's face and goes, "Fuck."
With a dagger, yes.
Hi, Irish.
I would like everybody to make a... Oh, I need to look up what a spell does. That spell, I would like everybody to make a wisdom saving throw, please. DC of 18.
Have it something to do with fear or things again?
No, this is not fear. This is enchantment school.
Because I used wholeness of mind.
It's not a mind effect.
No, stillness of mind it is.
Yeah, so...
Charm.
Well...
No, it's only for charming. And
yeah, it's not charm. So Lumi, you are the only one who isn't paralyzed. As you recognize the no, Cryor also isn't paralyzed with a 22. It was DC 18, I think I said.
Yep.
As Iris casts Hold Person on all y'all, all 6 of you.
I
again.
hold still.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not moving, but I'm making
Yeah.
making known I'm not paralyzed either.
right. And it's just a moment. Like it's definitely a moment, and then Britra goes, "Let them go." And with a wave, the spell is cut.
Sorry about that, Iris. Someone in our party was a bit too direct with hints. And I pull a kind of half apologetic smile.
She
And
rolls
again,
her
we're here
eyes.
to help.
Can I get an insight check from Alia, please? Uh, so Lumi, if you want to just join me in the sideboard for a second, because I want to give you this since you're the only one who noticed. So,
Why?
yeah. So the insight check was to notice Iris's expression, and the information that you get is that her expression is not nearly as young or innocent as her demeanor up until now would imply. Right?
Older than she appears.
Seems
Got
to
it.
be. And Bitra, like, recomposes herself a little bit and goes, "We will be in contact, I'm sure."
I'm sure, and on behalf of my very direct companion, I'm sorry.
Your very direct companion. It is sometimes reassuring to be around direct people, but it is not always safe.
This is true. Zari says.
Iris puts on a very long-suffering expression and goes to stand, like, behind and to the left of Bitra, who has moved out of the way so that you guys can have access to the door.
Let's try this leaving thing again.
Yes.
Lumi will bombastic side-eye Zari as she passes and wait until to be the last to leave and just do a apologetic bow towards them as he walks out.
As the door closes behind you, y'all hear a very loud, in Iris's voice, "The fuck?" And some, like, in a much deeper voice, you hear some, like, murmurings that seem to be, like, conciliatory or like calming, but you're not able to like understand the words used. And you see a bunch of city guard and army people very carefully not paying any attention to that building.
So, to the, what's the names again? The Stony Rook?
Stony Nook.
Stony Nook. Look, guys, I'm sorry. I just wanted her to not hold anything back.
as you guys work your way towards the Stony Nook, sorry, in the North Ward, just as you guys are entering it, you see a very large building. It's got like columns in the front of it, and that's actually a good one there. So if someone wants to mark that with 3, it has in the front of it, like it has like stone columns, but those stone columns appear to be carved vines and like vines running up the side of this building. There are 2 excellently crafted stone lions that sit at the, like, there's no like wall around the building, but like at the gate to, not gates on the right, like the path that leads up to the building, and in beaten brass letters across the front of the facade of this building is the name Apothecary. And this was somebody had mentioned to you by now of this was a magical shop.
A shop.
Oh, good. You guys can shop for items. I can exchange apothecary ideas.
Don't you need some more healing kits too?
Well, actually, I'm mostly covered. I think I've got Pat's the 3 bulging ones around his belt. I got at least 1 more in the bag.
So, as you guys enter the front door of this place, there is a doorbell that goes, does the jingle 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 as you enter the place, and you hear from the back, "Oh, just a minute, I'll be right up." This place is 2 stories tall. Like this front room is 2 stories tall. Shelves filling like the entire height of those 2 stories. Several of them are too like narrowly spaced for Zari to walk down them straight, and they are covered with just a cacophony of items. Parchments and furs and weapons and just a menagerie, cacophony. I don't have a good word for objects.
Cluster.
Multitude.
Yeah, multitude. Just everything and anything, and like there is light coming in through the like windowed front, but like the windows themselves are not clear glass. You don't know if they're just dirty or if they're like maybe thin vellum or something like that, but it's like it's kind of muted, and this place smells a little musty. And it is like it is a jungle of wares. And as you guys work your way towards the back of this place, there is a, it's hard to gather age, but not like stupid over old woman who comes around from like a back room, and she has a mask similar in make to the one that Eberkeet has, but it is the most grotesque mask you guys have ever seen. It is intricately carved, like masterwork of woodworking and metalworking and possibly stone. Like there are semi-precious stones in a couple of places that are expertly worked into. Like there's a mole or you would call it a beauty spot if it was on a pretty woman, but like a mole on one of the cheekbones of this mask that looks like it's made of some black stone onyx or jet or possibly obsidian. Thank you. And there is like on the chin there is a wart that is probably jade or some very smoky emerald. But the effect of this mask is it is hard to look at her face because it is so repulsive. And she kind of leans against the desk and goes, "Oh, good to have customers. What can I do for you?"
We were just told that this is the place to come for magic items.
Oh, yes, dear, it absolutely is. We have anything and everything that one might want for very reasonable prices.
Do you do magic item trades as well?
Depends on what is being traded and what you're trading for.
I'm looking for a little bit more of a ranged weapon, something with reach or something like that. Fit for a monk.
Something fit for a monk, something fit for a monk. Dearie, do you have the monk weapons? And you hear from the back room, and you see a hand reach through a hand the size of a human torso. Reach through from the back room. It is like the fingers are bloated and green, and the nails are yellow and broken in uneven ways, as if never trimmed but only allowed to break off. And this hand reaches in from the back room and places a large chest on the countertop. And written in Sylvan, there is monk weapons across the top of it. Oh yes, dear, thank you very much. Let's see, monk weapons, something with reach. And she flips open the lid and starts like digging into this thing and just like tossing out and letting fall to the floor various things. You said something with reach, not something, but something ranged. And she like pulls out a leather sling and goes, "Oh no, that does not have reach. That's just ranged." And she just lets it fall to the ground next to her.
Sling? So like a slingshot?
Yes, like a slingshot.
Could be up for that.
Oh, you could? I'll put it up on the counter. And she does.
Anything else?
She's just at this point, she's just literally digging into this place and just like tossing things. You don't know what she's looking for, but if you see something that you like, you're gonna have to stop her.
Well, You know what I'm searching for?
I do, and you see it.
Oh. Then I'll stop her. That looks interesting. How
Oh.
does it work?
Oh, this. Oh, yes, absolutely. And she sets it on the counter next to her thing. Next to the sling. And she closes. She like stuffs a bunch of stuff back into the chest. It doesn't look like it's gonna close. She goes, "Oh dear, you can take this away now." And you hear from the back room again, as the hand reaches back in and like grabs the chest and drags it back through the door. So I don't, I never really, shoot, I'm using the wrong, I never really got a name for this, but it does have reach. If you're fast, it's even better.
Well, that sounds like a weapon for me. I'm fast.
She smiles, or you don't see her smile. She nods and goes, "And how will you be paying for it?"
Depends what it costs.
I didn't say.
I don't have anything to trade at the moment.
Well, what does it cost? There's several things it could cost. But what do you have?
Coin.
Coin it will be. And she does some figuring. So this, did you just wanted a mundane version, or you want a magical version?
If it can be magical, please.
Okay. So this
because
is
only my melee attacks are magical by default for monk.
So this is a okay. My brain just completely blanked. What are the magical item? What are the magical item rarity classes?
Common, uncommon, rare.
Very rare, legendary.
Very rare, legendary.
So this would be a very rare version of what you had asked for. It is enchanted in such a way that no, your monk do you have to hit with your fist to do your monk skills, right?
It has to be melee.
Has to be melee. So this counts as a melee. So that isn't an enchantment that works. It has. Let me think about it for a bit. It is a very rare item.
Okay.
Very rare has a cost. How do you price magical items? All right. There's a rares. Very rare's like thousands of gold. Brass, sorry.
Uncommons are hundreds, rares are thousands, and very rares are easily getting into the tens of thousands.
I look at who was carrying the loot again from the last place. From Haifa.
I have 1,000 gold.
Yeah, but we stacked loads from Haifa, right?
That's mostly from that 1,000 gold is mostly what we got in loose coin from Haifa. Let's see.
So, asking pricing is in Xanatars is, for example, for very rare, it's 1d4 plus 1 times 10,000 GP. Rares are 2d10 times 1,000. Uncommons are 1d6 times 100, and commons are 1d6 plus 1 times 10.
Let's see. We have
It
23
is-
boxes of various jewels.
It is it is 18,000 brass.
Holy moly. Well, I got the 18.
And Zari has the 1,000.
That's not how it works. Oh, that is a link I just found, sir. Thank you. If you don't have the coin, we could work out other trades.
Your body's worth way more than that, Cryor.
Yeah, I'm not selling that. Let's see.
Meanwhile, Lumi is browsing the herbs and unguents and stuff aisles, listening to this, trying hard not to facepalm.
There is every herb and unguent that you have ever experienced in your life, and there are hundreds of more that you do not have names for. Some sting your eyes, others like even like feel hot or cold, even though you do not touch them. You can just feel the heat or the cold radiating off of them. The smell of some is blue. The taste of others is pleasure. You touch none of them, you taste none of them, but you know this as you pass them by.
Lumi's mind is going amok, trying to figure out ways to incorporate the hot ones and the cold ones into the healer's kits to get extra bonuses for using them. Just he's in between trying not to facepalm. He's going, "Hey, wait, but this plus that," and he's gone in his mind now.
You have how much do you have to trade, my young monk?
What was the equivalent from diamond again?
Opals are the resurrection gems.
Yes. Cryer, could I have you give me a perception check, please?
Perception.
Holy buckets. All right. Please join me in the sideboard. So, you desire this weapon, right? Because you know what you wanted, but you also feel desire, and you sense with that perception check of a natural 20, you sense the very subtle casting of a spell of the charm school of magic, which I think you have resistances or other wards against. But the other thing that you notice with a natural 20 is that this weapon is made of metal, right? There's wood and there's metal. It looks like the chain of it is a vascular system, like blood vessels intertwined to hold it together. and the sculpting of the dagger end of it is the finest. It looks like the horn, the like sculpted horn of a Vuji, or maybe a demon, or perhaps a what is the fey deer creatures? Shoot, fawn. That's the right word. Or perhaps a tiefling. And the leather of the wrapped handle is deeply red, and scaled. This is finely crafted and very organic looking. And you can sense a very subtle spell being cast that is enticing you to purchase this item no matter its cost.
Okay.
Welcome back.
And she turns to the rest of you as Cryer is contemplating, and you said you had something to trade.
Yes, Zari pulls off her maul, and it's like, yeah, the creatures we seem to end up fighting, they tend to just break out of this weapon's vine, so I need something that maybe gives me a little more oomph and less binding.
A very fine weapon indeed. Dear, bring the barbarian weapons forth. And you hear the moan in the background again. And there is shoved through the door a wardrobe that opens away from your viewing, and she starts like laying out just giant swords, including the one that you wish for,
Yeah.
on the table. Would one of these be interest of you?
She picks up the blunt-looking sword with the fiery center. Like, this one's very interesting.
Rarity value, are they equivalent?
I think. Hold on, I have so many tabs.
That's fair.
Tabs.
So while you're looking that up, does anybody else have any desires? A potion of love, perhaps. Yes, 18k is what I said.
The Iron Leaf Maul is a rare.
Okay.
And this one is a very rare.
Okay. So they are not equivalent
up.
trades.
Yeah.
As you were holding this, give me a perception check, please, Zari.
Perception. Pretty good.
Pretty good. Please join me in the sideboard. Okay.
Okay.
So you pick up this sword and it feels perfect in your hand. It is wonderful. Its heft is just right. It is as if it was made for you. And as you run your fingers along the dull edge, you notice that this is metal, but it is not like forged, or it is a sculpture of metal made to appear or perhaps be made from and then transmuted into metal. The like tooth, the tusk of an immense elephant. You can see the like small imperfections in it from the growth of the ivory as the tooth grew, and perhaps a like notch or scratch as some great battle was performed upon it. The actual like place where it comes together at the like crossguard appears to be made, it's porous like the bone of some great beast, hacked off at each end, like the femur bone of some great beast hacked off at each end to properly fit the ivory. It is the weight is metal. Like it is somebody, either, like I said, is either a master sculptor of metal, or they have taken flesh and made it into metal. The fiery heart at the center of this thing appears as the open mouth of some salamander or other fire, like a mephit or other fire elemental. And the handle itself is wrapped in onyx black leather that is not dyed. It is the natural color of the skin, and it fits your hand like you were made for this sword. And the pommel of the hilt is some eyeball gemstone of some fiery creature.
All right.
Maybe I do have something to trade.
Oh.
I got here a rapier. Further alarms? And yes, rapier.
What's the rarity on it?
I don't know. It requires attunement. You came up with the names. I cannot even.
It's one
Google
of
it.
Anya's equipments.
Okay. I don't remember what I did it. Anya.
Shield alarms. It didn't. Our fighter pick that one up to basically hang off his belt or something.
Well, then we have the dagger.
Well,
One of those.
the dagger and the sword are mixed, are paired,
Oh, a pass. Okay.
I think. Item is a 2.
Yo.
How do I tell what rarity things are?
Click on the item.
Legendary. So the Pleurs d'Alarms is a legendary item. Yeah, and it is paired with the Vode. Boy, I can't speak French either.
Yeah.
Vaux de Sentinelle.
Thank you. So
About the
Fleur de Larme and Vaux de Sentinelle.
yes. So you pull that out, and if for some reason that it is claimed by Valric, we'll retcon this a bit, but you pulled that out, and she like, ooh, can I hold it?
Can I hold the long weapon?
Of course, my dear.
Sure, you can hold it.
She takes the pleur d'alarms in her hand and examines it up and down. May have been the dagger. Okay. They're a matched pair. Like you wouldn't want to trade one without the other.
Yeah, Elros has the long sword of White Dragon Wrath, so he does not have the rapier and dagger equipped.
Okay, so we'll go with probably willing to give them up. And she looks at the pleur d'alarms and looks at the Vo and goes, these seem like a good trade for both of those weapons. You may keep your hammer, my dear, unless you would like to trade it for something else. Or sell it to the shop. It's very fitting in my theme.
Yes, I'd like to sell the hammer.
We could use some health potions and stuff.
Health potions. I do not sell potions of health. But I have a friend who does.
We'll find a potion shop.
Yes. Let me write down the name. And she begins wrapping the two weapons that you guys want in leather.
No, I'm keeping it.
Oh. Well,
I'll let her wrap it.
Okay.
I'll be nice.
No, I'm gonna see how mine works a little bit, inspecting it more.
We'll have to. Somebody who knows magic weapons will have to help me build that, so that it's very rare. Like, it is a very rare magic weapon, powerful wise. But I don't wanna like, it is this and then go, that doesn't work.
No. Well, this is just roleplay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then she takes the sword and the dagger, and she hands them back through the door, and you hear a clatter as they fall to the floor, and then you hear again as there's a scraping sound.
Half of that cut off. Half of the moan cut off.
Oh, sorry. I need to adjust Discord so that it properly doesn't do that, because I've been noticing it cut out a lot of my sound effects. And so she just hands you the leather she was gonna wrap yours in, Cryor. Almost sadly that you didn't let her properly package them.
Yeah, well, she doesn't have sad puppy eyes, so...
No, she doesn't have sad puppy eyes because you cannot see her eyes.
So I'll just take the letter, throw it on my shoulder.
Yeah. And I will sell her the maw and let her wrap up the sword.
So, what would you like in trade for the maw, my dear? Boring money or something else indeed? Perhaps
I'd have to look at what my other magic items I wanted were.
Perhaps a potion. A potion for you would be great. And
You're the expert.
She digs underneath the cabinet and pulls out a probably 10-ounce jug of like a glass. It has a glass stopper in it, and it makes a very unsettling, like wet, like sloppy sound as she sets it onto the countertop, and it like has a round bottom, so it goes whoop, 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 and the liquid inside of it is like viscous and maybe a little sticky. And that is not enough for such a fine weapon as this. And she puts two cat's eye sapphires on the counter as well.
do you happen to have a rope of climbing and a robe of useful items?
A rope of climbing, a rope of climbing, a rope of climbing. She takes the cat's eyes back off of the table and reaches underneath the thing and comes out with a perception check. As she comes, it's a rope, but I'm gonna have everybody do a perception check at this point because this rope looks odd.
I'm taking a disadvantage of that because I'm in my own mind trying to figure out herbs. I heard
Holy-
wog and so
Well,
17.
you all succeeded.
23.
Some of you got natural 20s. So
Oh,
this,
to the sideboard.
yeah, everybody to the sideboard. No, okay. So this is it appears to be a rope. It's not the right material though. It's, as far as you can tell, it is like feels like it feels like a rope, but it looks everything in the world like the small intestine of somebody. Just like it coils like small intestines. It's kind of got that kind of smooth picture, but she demonstrates its use, and it can absolutely it is absolutely a rope of climbing. It just looks very organic.
Yeah, I wait outside for the rest of this.
Ash is like, nope.
Zari shrugs. It's like, okay.
And the
I've
potion,
seen-
my dear, and the potion is yours as well.
Okay, that seems like a fair trade. Thank you for your business. I believe
Three-
our druid over there has some
3 sups.
herbs. He's
Do not take more than 3 sups of that potion. But it will help you see what you need to see. All right. Yeah. Oh, did you find the herbs you were looking for?
This might be a discussion between sessions, but Lumi is furiously thinking and pondering and like writing in the air, trying to figure out if the shop has herbs he can use to boost healers kits, like give them like an extra +1 or whatever.
That there are absolutely herbs that will do that here. 100%. When you ask her for that, she comes out from behind the thing and like leads you over to a separate like little area that you hadn't gotten to yet, and there are little reliquary jars, and inside of each of them is the burned ash of some very fragrant incense. And she's like, oh, some of this would absolutely increase the potency of your ability to heal.
How much?
What do you have to trade? Coin or more interesting things?
Oh, I'm just a boring old druid, so all I have are coins.
500 brass, then.
That's a bit rich for my blood. Okay.
I'll hand over the 500. It's worth it. It's worth it to get
Thank
get
you.
the boost.
Thank you. Thank you. And please do come back. And you find yourselves all standing outside of the Apothecary. I would like everybody who purchased something to please make a wisdom saving throw.
Zari is done for today.
All right. Yep. Those were your wisdom saving throws.
So what happens to Zari?
Oh, you don't notice any change.
Oh, okay.
Neither do either of your friends.
Okay. Get a headache. So many weird things today.
all of you
remember.
kind of have cottoned on at this point that, like, this place was a menagerie of various things, but everything inside of that place was very organic. Like, it wasn't nothing inside of there doesn't look like it was grown. Like, everything inside of there looked like it was either crafted to look like it was grown or was grown on some creature or other. And the air outside of this place just tastes a little less sweet than the air inside of it did. And there's just this little worry in the back of your mind that something wasn't 100% right. And with that,
Never is.
with that, we will go ahead and call it a session. So thank you to my players for playing. Thank you, everybody, for watching. It has been great having you here. Bye.